Merhaba, bu videoda ODTÜ Elektrik Elektronik Mühendisliği bölümü 2020 döneminde açılacak olan lisansüstü seviyesinde bir ders hakkında bilgi verilmektedir. Ders İngilizce olarak verileceği için bundan sonraki açıklamalar İngilizce olacaktır. Bu bilgiyi YouTube izleyicileri paylaşmak istedim. Şimdi ders içeriğine bakalım. Okay, so welcome all one more time. So this is the syllabus for EE 543, the course titled Statistical Signal Processing and Modeling. This is a mandatory course for signal processing option in Middle East Technical University, Electrical Engineering Department. And this is mandatory for both PhD students and master students. And this is basically the first course in statistical signal processing. So the main topics covered in this course is, well, main topics are, as you see over here. So it starts with random vectors, random processes, stationary random processes, types of random processes, Weissen's stationary processes, etc. So the main goal is introducing the concept of statistical reasoning, which is, for the sake of this course, it's mostly based on mean square error concept, and developing estimators such that this mean square error, which will be our cost function, is minimized. So after that minimization, we will call those estimators as optimal estimators in this sense. Well, course involves, as you can imagine, some processing part. So this is the processing of random signals and statistical reasoning, mean square error sense behind it. And it also involves this modeling part. So the modeling is, you have to have a statistical model to construct this mean square error type of cost functions. So we will also describe how to construct such models. Well, this course is, you may, if you're a signal processing major, you may take the following course after this one, which has the course code of EE 5506, Advanced Statistical Signal Processing. There are no prerequisites for graduate courses, but our course, EE 503, is a natural prerequisite to this one. And if you are only interested in, let's say, in this statistical signal processing as a minor topic, or if you are not interested in further details, you can only take this one. But if you are interested in, let's say, for the PhD research level, then you would be recommended to take both of these courses. Okay, so let's look at the course contents. First few weeks, at most 2 weeks of this courses on review of major topics. So the review topic starts with mathematical proofs. So this is something that I have noticed lacking in many students because of their educational background. In high school or at the university level, there are no formal courses defining the necessary and sufficient conditions, if and only if statements, etc. So I'll be trying to summarize them briefly. Then we will focus on linear algebra. Linear algebra is a vast topic. It has so many applications, and you can study linear algebra at different levels. So I will be only covering major points of interest, you may say the basics. But these basics, is the important part for the our course. So if you have already taken EE 501, if you're a PhD student, let's say, probably you have studied these concepts in EE 501, which is a mandatory course for many options. If you are right now taking EE 501, then you will be studying these important topics eventually in a few weeks, and you are recommended to watch the lectures one more time once you have seen them in the EE 501 course. Then we will briefly review probability, and then we will start the main topic, random processes, random vectors, Weissen's different processes types, and their processing, as you see. So the signal modeling. So signal modeling involves, well, a deterministic approach. So what do I mean by a deterministic approach? So this is, let's assume that you have a measured impulse response. Maybe you have a mechanical system. You hit this mechanical system with a hammer. and measure the vibration of this mechanical system. So you are interested in the understanding this vibrational mechanism. So you want to fit an LTI system to this impulse response measurement, which is collected by, let's say, input is hammer, and you are using accelerometers and so on to measure this vibrational of this mechanical body, let's say. So how would you do that? This is a deterministic problem. You are fitting an impulse response to a measurement. So that impulse response should be the impulse response of an LTI system. Okay. So I have to define poles and zeros. So how can we do this? So this is called the deterministic modeling because there is nothing random right now. You have an measured impulse response, and you are setting poles and zero locations, etc. So this is important for us, this part. But since this course is mostly on statistical concepts, so the second part, stochastic approach, is more important. So given a random signal, how can we fit a model for this random signal? This will be the second part of this course, signal modeling. Now, the last topic is, once you have these models, how can I, for example, use these models in the estimation problem? Okay, so you have noise observations. So from these noise observations, you want to estimate some parameters. Maybe you want to estimate the position of a car, which is measured by a camera, but this camera contains some noise, etc. So you want to get rid of this noise effect, essentially. So to do that, as I have said, we are introducing the concept of mean square error, MSE. Then we would like to minimize MMSE, minimum mean square error, but we are focused on linear minimum mean square error estimators. So we have a linear estimator which minimizes the mean square error. This is called LMMSE problem. So we will basically study this, and this is an equivalent name for this one is Wiener filter. So we will study different types of Wiener filters, and we will study different applications, prediction, smoothing, etc., etc. Well, this is about random parameter estimation. Estimation theory, by the way, is divided into two. The parameter to be estimated can be random. What do I mean by that? The parameter to be estimated is known to come from a statistical description. Maybe you are trying to estimate some bits in a communication system, and bits are, maybe it's like BPSK type of communication modulation. Then you have ones and minus ones, and you are thinking that every one and minus one is equally likely. They have the probability of 1/2. Then this is a statistical description for that parameter, for that bit to be estimated. In some other cases, you have no idea about the statistical, you have no statistical reasoning about the unknown parameter. So you consider that one as a non-random parameter estimation. We will briefly discuss this because this course is, as I have said, about statistical reasoning. But I will try to mention this maximum likelihood method. And then this is also very important, best linear unbiased estimator. And then I will try to establish connections between this blue estimator and random parameter estimators. After that, this is our last topic. We will be examining the KL transform. So that's all about course contents. So references. References are Hayes' textbook. This is a fairly old textbook, 1996, but it's a very valuable textbook. If you check the title of the textbook, it matches the title of the course. So we will be using this textbook as the main text. But I should say that I am not following this textbook page by page. Well, actually, that's not my style. I try to interpret these textbooks according to my way, okay? So I interpret means I study all of these textbooks and some others, and I try to fuse them somehow and present the results. But these are the ingredients forming my input, let's say, input of my fusion system, okay? There are some other textbooks, but it will be a much more detailed. So these are the four major ingredients forming this text's, let's say, this course's progress. So Hayes' textbook is the most important one, first reference. Second reference is Terian's textbook. Terian's textbook is a very important textbook also for our purposes. It's also an old textbook, but you can find the PDF copies, or in some cases, you can find the hard copies of these textbooks. These textbooks are complementing each other. So they have different strengths and weaknesses, and they complement each other, so their union is quite strong. So Papilus's textbook is it's a classical textbook. Papilus's textbook contains everything in terms of probability. So you can find probability, stochastic processes, information theory, detection, estimation, statistics, everything in Papilus's textbook. It's a very brief textbook, but it's a very valuable textbook. If you can get used to reading Papilus's textbook also, you will gain a lot. So as you can see, for the estimation theory, the main references over here are Terian and Hayes. For signal modeling, there is some information from Papylus. For random processes, Terian, Hayes, Papylus, and Ross. So I'm using all four for the random processes, as you see. Ross's textbook is a fundamental textbook. It's an introductory level textbook. So I have in my bookshelf the 7th edition of this one. So as you can imagine, this is a very popular. So in year 2000, it was the 7th edition. Probably it's, I don't know, the 15th edition can be out today. I have no idea about the details. That's all about our course, as you can see. Now, if you like to get more information, let's click on this link for the previous course offering. So which year? So this is fall 5 years ago. Okay. So you can see the first bullet point, lecture notes by Osman Tayfun Bishkin, a former student taking this course. His handwriting was very good. So I have asked Osman to share his notes in PDF form. I highly recommend you to download this PDF copies. As I have said, I'm not following this exactly, but maybe the match is like more than 50-60%. Okay, so I will be using these notes. You can look up if you want to study lectures ahead of the lectures, then you can maybe examine Osman Tayfun's notes. You can see that there is homework number 0, some other notes, etc. You can look at the course progress over here, and that is it. So in the earlier years, we had, for example, course grading in standard form, midterms, homeworks, etc. But this is a very special semester, as you can imagine. So let's go back to syllabus. So we have a special course conduct. So what is special about this semester? For the historical record, maybe. So this is fall 2020. So today is October 11, 2020. So there is this COVID-19. 19 it has started in 2019, I guess. Pandemic going on. Because of this pandemic, there are no face-to-face lectures in universities, in many universities in Turkey. So we will be recording our lectures, or we will be we'll be having offline teaching in this semester, very special to 2020. So what we are going to do is, this is a 3-credit course. I'll be releasing 3 videos, 3 50-minute recording of the lectures. And I'll be recording these videos in the usual classroom environment of our department, METU, Middle East Technical University Electrical Engineering Department. So I advise you to take notes as usual. So please follow the lectures and copy, let's say, whatever on the board, or how, I don't know how students are right now copying things, whether they are using some electronic equipment, they are directly copying to PDFs or not, but my recommendation is copy it to your notes in the usual way. Then we will be having, so there won't be any changes. So I recommend you to follow the usual practice of attending the lectures. So this is a 3-hour, weekly 3-hour course. It's a 3-credit course. So our lecture hours are 3 hours on Monday. So on the third hour of our course, which is Monday between these hours, we will be having a weekly interactive session. So in that weekly interactive session, we will be having an interactive communication. We will try to make it as lively as possible. So hopefully you will enjoy it. And I'll be trying to answer your questions. If there is not something clear on video, or if I have, because there is little feedback. In a regular semester, we immediately get feedback. If I make a mistake on the blackboard, for example, the usual classroom, I immediately get a feedback from a student saying that maybe there is a mistake over there or not. So if you see any mistakes, if there is something not clear, so we'll be discussing those things during the interactive sessions. What is nice is that now during the interactive sessions, I can also run MATLAB. You can also run your MATLAB. You can prepare PDF documents and you can show those PDF documents to me, etc. So this interactive session will be covering what we have discussed, all video lectures up to that time. So this is between Monday 3:40 and 4:30, 4:30, right? So we will be having discussions on even the videos released on Monday. Okay. So I'll release 2 hours of videos on Monday. Then I will release the third hour in the midweek. Just a second. Okay. So grading. When it comes to grading, we will be having 4 mini exams. These mini exams will be having a 6, will be comprising the 6% of your grade individually. Then we will be having 3 homeworks. These 3 homeworks will be somewhat like project type homeworks, mini MATLAB homeworks, and so on. So mini exams are more like problem solving. I will assign some problems and I will ask very similar problems in these mini exams. So you will be having some mathematical study in these mini exams. Homeworks will include, of course, there are some mathematical aspects, let's say analysis, problem solving, and there will be a MATLAB aspect of this 3 other homeworks. Then there will be a midterm exam, 24% of your overall grade. There will be a final exam, which will be the 40% of your overall grade. If everything goes fine, we can have these exams, preferably, if possible, face-to-face, if everything goes well, let's say. If it does not go well, of course, we will try to do our best. We will be having online exams. So there is this bonus part. So as I have said, this interactive session is quite important. You can ask any questions to me. But since this classroom will be around, let's say 20 or 30 students, it can be difficult to ask questions. But we will do our best. Maybe we will have, if you wish, more interactive sessions and so on. But attendance to these interactive sessions, your participation efforts, it will be affecting at most 10% of your overall grade. And this is totally subjective. So unfortunately, this is the subjective part of the grading. So if you attend more, if you increase your visibility, if you can show more effort, so this is the bonus part. So you will be receiving 10%, at most 10%, in addition to the 100% distributed in these 4 other activities. Well, that's all I would like to say. So courses or lectures will be starting on Monday. So we will be having our first interactive session. Well, that will be maybe a welcome, or we will get to know each other in the first interactive session on Monday, October 12, 2020. So thank you very much. And I would like to again welcome you all to this fall 2020 EE 543 course. Thank you very much again. Bye-bye.